The rare privilege and honor for us to meet you as the first and last Commander-in-Chief of the Indian Army. You're a figure of legend to most Indians today. As we were just driving through this beautiful rolling parkland that you have around your estate, I couldn't help being struck by the peace and the quiet and the tranquility. And I was also struck by the contrast that it bears to the tremendously exciting life that you've led before. I was just wondering how you came to settle down in such a peaceful place, in such direct contrast to the tremendously exciting life that you've led before.
Yes. When I was leaving the army over 30 years ago, someone asked me in Delhi where I was going to settle down. I said, Kurg. Kurg is a wild place, jungly place. How can you go live there after a very exciting life in Bombay, Calcutta, Delhi, and places like that? How can you live in a quiet place? I told him, look, I was born there, I want to die there. So I come here to live and die. I like the peace and quiet life of my quiet life here. Around my house, I've got a jungle, my neighbors are trees, my area are wild birds, and none of this morning, noon and night radio playing all around the house. It's peace and quiet here.
Actually, I was just, after you laid down command as the Commander-in-Chief of the Army, you went to Australia to take over as High Commissioner.
I went there in June or July 1953. I laid down office in January 53, so I was unemployed till then. Then I wasn't at all keen on getting a job. I was going to do things as I wanted to in my own humble way. But I was sent to Australia as High Commissioner, Australia and New Zealand, in June 1953. I came back in April 56, and here I am a free man, unemployed. And
I was wondering why you hadn't taken up any public office or any other assignment after coming back.
Well, I can't just take it myself, it's given to me.
Yeah.
Nothing was offered at all. And I just go around talking to schools and students and colleges and villages and so on. That's what I like doing. After all, the youth of our precious gems, they are the hopes of tomorrow. We got to bring them the right lines. So I try and put over my ideas about this. I'll give you some copies of my articles. I hope you read them. It
Yes.
gives you my mind about the youth. And that they are the precious gems of our land. We are not looking out enough. We are condemning them unnecessarily. They're basically and fundamentally, they're all right. There's nothing wrong with them at all. It's the politicians of the wrong type who mislead them to create embarrassment to the government. But the youth are all right. They've got to be brought up right, and the lines are suggested in my articles.
But after 1956, did you have any thought of entering politics?
No, in 1978, I think, I did have a shot at an independent candidate for Lok Sabha, not in the political party, independent candidate. My aim was to go there from the floor of the house, they would listen to my voice. Now I write articles and I talk and nothing happens at all, no such notes of it, because I'm not in politics. He's a retired general, an old man. So if I went to Parliament, they would listen to what I would say. So I went there, unfortunately I didn't succeed. I came in third. I was let down badly by one or two parties by not backing me up. Nevertheless, it was good fun.
You never felt the need to join a company or take up any such position?
No intention at all. Actually, when I came to Australia, I was offered a very attractive job in Madras and Bombay. I didn't want to take it because I didn't want to be a servant of another country after having been Commander-in-Chief of the Army.
You felt it was a come down?
It wouldn't have been proper, because not a come down. It would have been proper to go and earn your living by selling cholis for people and sweets for people. I don't want to say, I'll be a commander choli base, I say. If you join business, you got to do some work for them, sell things for them. I don't want people to talk about it. If I'd been a second commander, I might have done that, but not the first one. I got a duty to keep the dignity of the office I had. So I refused to take a job.
You were the first Indian to command the entire army of India. Is that
Yes, that's right. First in history of our country to come out the entire army in India. There was usual penny packets of Rajput army, Jat army, Sikh army, Portuguese army, and so on and so forth. Little penny packets. But this is the first time ever the whole Indian army under my command. I was very fortunate.
After that, sir, have you ever taken up any position of authority in social work or public life or anything else?
Oh, public life, no. I just go around, member of various Lions Club or Rotary Club. I organize a Kurg Pensions Union, which I presided for a while, and so on. That kind of thing I do. No government job at all.
But it's difficult to get to the villagers unless you have some kind of authority, isn't
You
it?
must have authority, and the difficulty is you get there all right, but they won't listen to you. I'll tell you a story that happened to me here in Madikeri some years ago. I went to see the deputy commissioner, whose office is upstairs in the fort. And I went in there, in the waiting room outside, there's 4 or 5 villagers pushing each other to the door to go try and get inside. I said, look here, there's a small bench to sit down, they go one at a time. Oh no, we're in a hurry to catch a bus. You can't all go at the same time, sit down. They won't take so large notice of me. Sit down for a while, you can go one at a time. I got to go there too. No, they wouldn't, they pushed each other. Chaprasi came now, wearing a belt. He said, put somebody in Canada, sit down. Sat down straight away without a murmur, straight away, because they knew he had authority to send him one at a time. They didn't want to encourage displeasure, so he sat down straight away. So I have a sense of humor. I stood there and talked to myself. Karappa, you command an army of 600,000 people, and officer men obey you. You're one of our villagers won't obey you. I know why, because you're an authority. So you must know authority to go to villages.
Apart from your social work and the work you've been doing for all the ex-servicemen and for youth, I've heard that you've done a lot for Indo-Pakistan relations.
Yes, quite a lot I've done, my best, and I've been there 5 or 6 times on what I used to call a self-appointed one-man goodwill mission.
Are you going back to Pakistan this year?
I may go back. I was also gone in May, about now, but unfortunately to my health I couldn't go.
So it is really heartening to know that there's so much goodwill in Pakistan.
Terrific goodwill, and they're all very keen. And particularly young people who want to, every time I've been there, when we join hands again soon, they want to come and play cricket against our chaps. They want to play cricket and hockey and so on. The memories of old days, we must come there quickly.
How do you spend a typical day now, sir?
Typical day, get up in the morning and have a short while here, then breakfast. Before I go there, I go and stand in front of my father and mother's paintings, and I salute them and thank them for having brought me what they did. Then there's a small statue of Jawan, and I salute him. I tell him, Jawan, tomorrow he said, Azad lene mein. Tum tomorrow pasina diya, tomorrow khun diya, tomorrow jaan bhi diya, azadi ke liye, azadi kaim rakho, hamesha. Do baar gulami jiyon nahi man Jawan, Hindustan bachao. I salute him. This morning now, before you came here, I went and saluted him. Then some letters to dictate, some secretaries, the typist comes. I got no, not being a minister or a governor or anybody else, I got no PA or a PS or a ADC. I had to wait for some clerk to come and type it for me and dictate a few letters. And then I sit, and I can't read, because my eyesight is bad. And it's frightful. Then some people drop in to see me occasionally. But I feel very lonely here, no one to talk to. And most people come here, ex-servicemen, they want pensions raised, they want money, they want children to be in the army, Navy, Air Force. All these things goes on and on and on. So to me, Jawan is a great chap. He is a man who keeps the country together. And I wish the army will continue to keep an eye on the defense of the country and the security of the country. And you can trust the Jawan. When I say Jawan, includes naval chap and airmen, everybody, and officers, everybody. Jawan is a soldier.
In your extensive tours in the front during your tenure as Commander-in-Chief, you must have come into considerable personal contact with the Jawans. Can you tell me any striking incidents?
Yes, in the Kashmir operations, remember, whenever I went to these troops, I never made them fall in line and so on and so forth. I stand on the flag and so on. I used to go and sit and make them sit around me, sit on the hillside and the fields and the ground, and I talked to them just like that I'm talking to you now. And on one occasion, we were short of canteen stores. during Kashmir operations. So alternate troops down there. जवान बहुत अफसोस की बात है कि कैंटीन स्टोर नहीं आता है, तो अब तुम रम वगैरह नहीं आ रहा है, तो क्योंकि सड़क में कुछ नुकसान है, नहीं आ सकता है. And कोशिश करेंगे. सिपाही ऑर्डर से got up and हजूर ये ख्याल मत करो, कैंटीन तमाशा तो गौर लोग का हमको शामिल करने के लिए, हमको एमिनेशन भेजो, हथियार भेजो, मशीन गन भेजो, इनको सब मारना चाहता, हटाना चाहता, लड़ाई करना चाहता, and use a bad word and सब मारना चाहता, कैंटीन छोड़ना. This is the spirit of the Sipa. He wants to get on to work, not the canteen stores and things like that.
It's really very inspiring.
It's really,
I've heard that you tried to talk to them in their own languages, including in Tamil.
Yes. I once talking to a Sipa, a sentry in Delhi. I asked him, "Ungalku chapana kadikrada?" And he looked at me. "Chol, ungalku chapana kadikrada?" Nothing. "Chol, chapana kadikrada?" साहब हम अंग्रेजी नहीं जानता. Sahaj Jamadar, isn't he Madrasi? Sahaj Madrasi. Tamil pesara, I say. So I was so insulted. He thought my Tamil was English. Because to his ears, anything that comes to, should be Kyatavacha. I asked something else, so he thought it was English. So I talked to him in their own language.
Going on to something else which has always intrigued me, it's about your relationship with Mahatma Gandhi. What I heard was that you were against non-violence, is that right?
Oh, no, not against non-violence. No. I said, no. Let's not concentrate on non-violence alone. There's a non-violence, at the same time, be prepared. We never can tell what might happen. Non-violence, I'm all for that. I agree, I'm for it. But I tell you, one people who are non-violent soldiers, we don't have wars because we know utter futility of wars. So, but anyhow, we're prepared to fight. So non-violence is very well, but at the same time, be prepared to fight.
So is there something that you could tell the Jawans of today, a message which would inspire them in some way?
I just told you, जवान तुम्हारा हिस्सा था आज़ादी में, तुम तुम्हारा पसीना दिया, तुम्हारा खून दिया, तुम जान भी दिया, आज़ादी कायम रखो, तब गुलाम जवान नहीं मान जवान तुम्हारा हाथ में हिंदुस्तान बचाओ.
It's really very inspiring what you've said just now. And I certainly think that you're now entitled to the peace and quiet and tranquility which you live in. Well, I hope that you'll live for many years and give us all your guidance and your advice.
On one condition, that I'm healthy.
Oh yes, I wish you good health as well.
I never wish anybody, I wish you a long life. No, I wish you a long life with good health.
I wish you a long life with good
health. Because that's the most essential. Yes. Unless you're healthy, you can't do much at all.
It was a pleasure talking to you.
Well, very nice of you to say that, and very nice to listen to your questions. And thank you very much. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you. Thank you.